All right, we're here. January 5th, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Brett.
New year, new me in 23.
Oh, 23 and me. That's a thing,
Oh,
right? The dating site
start the
or
hashtag now.
ancestry site. It's something like that.
I think it's Ancestry.
That sounds good. Why
Maybe.
23? Do 23 and me and turn it into a music dating site. And then it just pairs you up with people with like similar Spotify raps.
Not a bad idea.
Might be on to something. We are both happily married though, so we will just run the app.
Yeah,
We had a weekend, which
we
we
did.
yeah, we have so all right. So Brett and I recorded. So we went to Fish was it last week?
Thursday.
Thursday, not even a week. And Brett stayed over and then we recorded in the morning. So we have our first ever Brett and I in the same place podcast. It's very exciting.
Which was really fun to do. Hopefully, we get to do that more this year.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like, I don't know, it's a little easier to like bounce off each other. I mean, I think we do all right over
Yeah,
Zoom, but
I know what you mean, though.
yeah, just like that in-person vibe is nice. We were we were exhausted that morning. So we'll see. I haven't listened back yet.
You can tell by our voices, like, neither of us have a voice.
No, just from like yelling possum.
I was like, how did I lose my voice? Like, there's like three words in their songs.
It's the great thing. You can learn the chorus of a song you heard for the first time before it gets to the second chorus. Not much to it in a lot of them.
I think that happened the first time I heard Character Zero.
Yeah.
Like the second time it came around, I knew it.
Yeah. You're like, can I live while I'm young? Boom. But yeah, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. We got some huge Foo Fighters news a couple days ago. I guess was it on the first? Did it come out? Feels like it.
First or New Year's
First or New
Eve,
Year's Eve.
one of those two. I feel like both those days kind of blend together.
Yeah. But like the long and short of it was just that, they were he said it in his book too. We talked about it, but like they were a band born from heartbreak, and he said they were always about kind of like healing with music and what else? Do you remember how it went better?
In the
Just kind
book,
of or just like in the press release that they put out.
I'm blanking.
Yeah, yeah, it was just along the lines of like we've kind of been here before, and Foo Fighters is a band that is meant to like help with these things. So like we owe it to ourselves and Taylor to like keep it going, however that may be. Not a not a great recap. Go read it for yourselves on the Foo Fighters page. But yeah, they are gonna keep making music, gonna keep touring, and I personally think that's pretty cool.
I do too, especially after seeing like the tribute shows. Like there was a part of me that wanted them to kind of just maybe do something new, but then again, that wouldn't really be who they are and who Dave is, and
Yeah,
he's been through so much tragedy in his life. Like, why would he throw away the project that he built through tragedy when going through another tragedy? So it
yeah,
makes sense,
yeah,
and I'm just really excited that they're going to keep moving forward. But I am curious how they'll be both live and when they do put out new music too.
yeah. So I was thinking studio wise, I feel like Dave will do drums for this next one. What do you what do you think about that theory?
I think that's very likely.
Yeah, right?
Although, as we're reading this book too, I'm kind of curious, like if maybe he takes like the how he joined Scream approach, and he just finds like a super fan that knows like every drum note and can somewhat play like Taylor, and just rolls the dice on a kid or some guy,
That
and he
that would
fits like
would
right
be
into the
pretty cool.
van.
because that like I had like a joke written down that like they won't get a drummer and he'll just bring a different fan on stage for every single song.
Like Green Day.
Yeah. But like what you said kind of actually like fits that idea in a more realistic way. But then there's also like the options of people that played with them at the tribute concert. Cause like Rufus Taylor, um Queen drummer's son, what's his name, Roger? I feel like it's
Roger
Roger.
Taylor.
Yeah. So he's the drummer for The Darkness and Queen and with Adam Lambert. And like Taylor's his godfather. They were like he was like a mentor to him. And like he crushed Best of Me at that
Yeah,
tribute
he did.
concert.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. That I mean I think that would work really well. But then there's the idea of, and I don't even know if this is like a fair judgment, but is it like too spot on? Like he almost looks like Taylor. He's got like Taylor's logo tattooed on him. He's got Taylor in his name. Not that that's like really like something that should be a deal breaker, but I don't know. Like I could see it working and I could see them not doing that too. He also has a band. Like The Darkness is a band. So
I mean, I'd leave the Darkness for Foo Fighters if I were him. But then again, I don't
yeah,
know how
I was
close he is with them.
I was thinking that too.
But
Yeah.
that would fill also like what I was kind of bringing up a little bit because like if he's like that much of a fan of Taylor, it kind of like
Yeah,
he would
true.
give his all to be in that band. I'm sure.
Yeah. And like look up the Best of Me tribute with him on YouTube if you're listening and haven't seen it or just want to watch it again. He kills it.
Best of you.
Best of You. Fuck, I'm sorry. Thank you for fixing that. Starting line on the brain. But yeah, he crushed it. And they did like this cool like interlude and like jammed on it and stuff. It was he hits the drums hard, which I feel like is a staple of anything related to Dave Grohl and Taylor.
Oh yeah, both of them.
Yeah, you gotta hit those drums hard. And then there's Josh Freese, who's a session drummer, who's in like a ton of bands that I don't have written down, but he also played at the tribute show. There's Taylor's son, Shane, but he's 17, so
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
if
he would. Oh, go ahead.
just I think that would maybe happen down the line, but probably not yet.
That's what I was thinking too. I
Yeah.
think he's still a little too young, but like he was perfect with like
Yeah.
each song they brought him on.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options. I mean, if you remember back to like what Avenged Sevenfold did when like the Rev died, they just brought in like a killer drummer, um,
Dream
Port
Theater drummer, right?
yeah, Portnoy. I always want to say I feel like it's Mike Portnoy, but I don't know if I'm just thinking of Barstool and Dave's dad. I think they have the same name. I'm pretty sure it's Mike Portnoy, but
But
they brought him in and he just like crushed it for the album following the Rev's passing, and then they like got a more permanent member. So
I
I
forgot
don't know.
the what's the name of the new drummer again? With Avenged.
Uh I
I
don't
don't
remember. They
remember.
haven't done anything in like 5 years. I don't know if that person is still in the band. I don't remember. So many bands go through drummers. It's I forget who stays and who I don't know what's up with them. I would love to see something from them this year. I
It's
mean, they're
been
doing,
due for like 2 years now. So
yeah,
hopefully.
they haven't played a live show since 2018.
Really? I didn't know that
Yeah,
part.
but they are on a couple festivals this year. So,
But something's coming then.
yeah, I would think you don't like come out of like hibernation for that long and not have something more cooking than just a couple festivals. But and then my friend at work said maybe Matt Cameron from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam would be cool.
I think Pearl Jam's too active though.
Yeah.
And that'd
I
be a lot too.
yeah. Do they still tour a lot? They
A
they
good
are they like a
amount.
once a year touring band?
I think once a year is fair.
Yeah, I'd love to see them
They're
eventually.
very high on my list.
Yeah. They're another one though that's just like in that upper echelon of like you're paying to see them.
Yeah, but at least with them, like they kind of try to push back on Ticketmaster a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. I'll bleep that out. We don't say that name
Yeah.
here.
Like Voldemort.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll find out this year, sounds like. But I want to go see them again, very much so.
I do too.
Especially reading this book. Like I was always like kind of a passive Foo Fighters fan, and this is like igniting it. So I'm
Welcome to
getting
the
those,
club.
yeah, I'm getting those deep tracks in now.
You
And
pass Fish, I pass Foo
yeah.
Fighters.
Now I just have to learn how to say their song names properly.
Comes in time.
Maybe the starting line will cover Best of You.
And then Foo Fighters cover Best of Me.
Yeah, and they could just put it out as like a 2 song EP.
Best of EP.
Boom. You're welcome. You want to talk about the book since we're in Foo Fighters right now?
I'm not done with part two, unfortunately.
Right. It's been a month.
Sounds like you need to tell Nick that you read at like a snail's pace. I was like, no, I'll have it done. I did not get it done on time. But next week, I think I should. I hope.
I started another book in the meantime because I finished part 2 and 3. So I figured I should wait.
Is it a music book?
No, it's just like a fantasy book because I like that genre. Well,
Fantasy Notch.
Lies of Locke Lamora. It's like a heist book. It's awesome. Um anyway, we geez, this is a kind of a morbid start to the new year, but we following well, Foo Fighters is new life following sad news, but then Jeremiah Green, another drummer of Modest Mouse, passed away this past week, which happened so fast that I didn't even realize. Like the first headline was maybe a week ago, and it said he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. But like it seemed kind of hopeful from at least the articles I was reading. But I guess like they're not going to put out non-hopefulness. But either way, he passed away the other day, and that really stinks because he was a good drummer.
Very unique, like the rest of the
Yeah,
band. Like there, I can't name another drummer that plays drums like him. Like his timing was just all over the place,
yeah,
as is like most of like Modest Mouse's music. But like
yeah. It was like precisely chaotic,
it was
like
exactly what they needed.
lot of like fills like that were kind of off time and stuff, and he used like a lot of like percussion style things, like where you might have like a hi-hat being hit. Instead, he was like using a shaker or something like that.
Tambourine sometimes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there's like those egg shakers, and then there's those other shakers that are just like a long tube, which gives it like a lighter feel. Like he's just a very creative drummer. You can hear him kind of like hitting the rim of the snare a lot. I don't know if there's like a specific word for that, but they're a band where I never like fully focused on drums listening to them. And then going back and doing so, I realized just how much he like was bringing to the table.
I always think of Trucker's Atlas as like my example to people who like want to appreciate him on drums. Like that one is just
Yeah.
like the it sounds simple, but then like when you listen really close, it's really not. And like the timing shifts all over the place
Yeah.
in that song too.
And then like they just it's like a 10-minute song, right? Is that
Yep.
the
Yep. And then
yeah.
it speeds up towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I was reading the Isaiah Brock Isaiah or Isaac, I don't know.
Isaac?
Isaac. Yeah. Um, when they announced the Lonesome Crowded West tour, he did that interview. Was it with Spin, maybe?
I think so.
Um, and he just like kind of talked about the making of that record and everything. But he said with that song, like they were just like really jamming. And he's like, I just left the room, like went and got coffee, just let them do their thing. He's like, my part was over. I didn't have to be there.
And like they wasn't like the recording studio like, why do you want to leave this 10-minute jam on? He's like, no, we're leaving it on.
Yeah. Yeah. Which you gotta love and respect from a band who just like they have the way they want to do things and like that's how they're gonna do it. And they don't really care what anyone says. I guess like that's not gonna be the single. The radio edit. It's just 3.5 minutes. And I think a lot of it, I don't remember if it was everything or drums or what, but he said something about like parts being recorded. Like, was it in a bathroom or something? Like he wanted like this echoey noise, or they just recorded it live, maybe is what I'm thinking in the studio, like all playing together.
I think that was it.
Yeah, yeah. Vocals he might have did in like a smaller room. I don't know. I'll find the article and put it out. But
Like Cowboy Dan, where it sounds like he's like screaming in like the distance,
yeah, like
like
just
something like that.
moves the mic, moves away from the mic to breathe. Um Yeah, there's another one. Uh it's off that sad sappy sucker. Is that like yeah, another it's a long album. Where is it? Um
They're like a compilation, technically.
yeah, I thought there was something like it wasn't exactly just like an album, but they have so much that like I really can't keep track of it all. But there's this song, Every Penny Fed Car, and that has some really wild drumming if you want to hear him being like creative and like what makes him unique. Like I think that one's a really good showcase. It goes fast, it goes slow. It's just like I don't even know how to articulate it, but give that one a listen.
Also, like talking shit about a pretty sunset too. Like when the pretty part happens and he has like the steady, like this is, excuse me, I don't know what happened there. The the steady like drum beat going towards the end and just drives the song home pretty much. And that's the little pretty part.
Oh yeah, and the guitar's doing like the little speed picking, like or it's just like a bend. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, he's like all up on the hi hat. They're such a musically good band.
They really, and he was like the last like original member. It was just him and Isaac. Now it's
Oh
just
wow.
Isaac. But he
Ah,
like he I didn't realize he was like out away from the band for like a year and then came back. Like he wasn't on Good News.
I thought maybe he wasn't because you could kind of tell the drumming's a little more straightforward on that album.
It's not yeah, it doesn't have that Jeremiah touch.
But Ocean Breeze Salty is still one of my favorite Modest Mouse songs. It's the first Modest Mouse song I ever heard. Had that weird
It's
music video with like the crow.
that's a really weird one.
Yeah,
That's a guitar driven album too, I feel like.
yeah, yeah.
Then he came
He,
back big with a dashboard on the album
yeah.
after. One of my favorite Modest Mouse songs.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where he kind of did some percussion stuff. Like there's other things. I know like live they always had like is it
Yeah, two
it was
drummers.
like him and then like two other drummers, three other drummers.
Yeah, they have a lot going on stage.
Yeah.
I I don't think they're a band that there will be any question to their future with this news because they kind of seem to interchange members so often.
Yeah. I think they did this whole Lonesome Credit West tour without him.
Oh, all right. Well, then that definitely
Or at least
confirms
some
that.
shows he wasn't at. Like there's like notes on Sailors.fm because I was like kind of I went on there to check to see if they actually played the album front to back, and they did.
Wow.
So I kind of I'm kicking myself that we didn't go to that, but
I know.
Phish was worth it.
Just not even so much Fish, but just it was like the Friday before Christmas in New York City.
It's December
Like,
16th, I think,
yeah. All right, it's not exactly before Christmas,
but
but
like the week before.
yeah, it's like a tough time of year. And it like Fish was at least at the Garden, so that's like a train ride and that's it.
Yeah,
You have to like get to like Brooklyn or wherever they played.
they
It's
couldn't
like,
do a Starland show.
I know, right? They've played it plenty of times before. Oh well.
We were there.
Yeah, I'll still go see them whenever I can,
Yeah,
if I can.
definitely a loss, but like at least we'll always have those albums, and it definitely won't be the same. I think, like you pointed out, like you can tell a Modest Mouse album without him,
Yeah.
but that just means we might get like more Isaac being Isaac
Yeah.
or
They're
Brock being Brock if you want to use the last name.
they're creative enough where I feel like they can take something like that and just use it as like, all right, it's going to steer us in this direction because we no longer like have a certain like aspect of it.
Yeah,
But yeah, great drum parts. Go listen to some old Modest Mouse in his honor.
those first three, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, I put on Long Drive when I was driving to South Carolina and but I saved it for like it was like 5 in the morning or something. So like the sun was barely up, like Nicole was sleeping. It's just like a real great like I mean the title says it all, but it is a great album to just throw on while you're just on a straight road for a long time.
That's a great first thing in the morning album too.
Yeah.
Then Moon and Antarctica if you want to get a little weird.
Yeah. Does that have stars or projectors? It's one of my
I
favorite
think
songs.
so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That song is
Yep.
so
Yeah.
good. And that the drums come in hard on that too.
Almost forgot the drums on Tiny Cities Made of Ashes with the bass.
Uh, let me
The
see.
whole rhythm section in that song.
Oh yeah, that's a groove.
That's a big groove.
So we were grooving at the garden on the
Big time.
topics of grooves. We
In
got
a
to get
lighter groove.
yeah, yeah. Um, we brought in the new year with a party. Brett, did your show of the year predetermined live up to being the show of the year?
It somehow leaped past it. I set the bar. I was telling your uncle I set the bar high, and they like it's not. We're not even on the same planet. That's how much they jumped it.
It's wild. I've said it so many times to people after the show when they ask how it was. I just don't know how I can see them 20 something times and I'm still like, this was the best time. Like, this was the best one yet. They just full of surprises.
But this one was like really a good. Like people were really crazy about this one, though, right? Like it wasn't just a first
Yeah.
time experience for me, or like you not seeing them in a while. It was like really that good.
Yeah. No, it was like the stars aligned for sure, I think, because like looking at a couple of the other days, like New Year's withstanding, like if we were there, we would have had a great time and like we would have liked a bunch of songs and would have liked all the songs. But this was one where literally every song, there wasn't one song they played that I'm not like, that's a skip for me when they come on.
Yeah,
And there was the one I didn't know, Hey Stranger.
you
But
did not know that one.
even that one, like it wasn't bad. And that's part of the fun too. Like we got a little surprise, like the pet cat song when like it's meowing over the speakers, like
That was trippy.
yeah, like looking at each other like what's happening here? What's
I was like, you
going
hear
on?
that, right?
Yeah, right. There was a lot of that
Yeah.
of of me or us just being like, is everyone else getting this too? Because they're in my head. I'm freaking out. Did we tell? I wish I should have watched back because I don't remember what we talked about. But me
Same.
dropping the phone was a highlight for sure.
The fact that I have that on video is just
Yeah,
priceless.
yeah, we got to put that out because you can hear it all. You're like, you dropped your phone. I
I was like, is
don't.
it? I was like, did you drop your phone? Instead of like picking down and picking it up for you, I just like was asking if it was yours first. But I was like so into like you enjoying myself, I like couldn't move.
Same, same. It felt like my phone was 1,000 miles away. I'm just like, well, my phone's gone.
Like I don't
I
care.
accepted it. I don't care. Oh, it was a good time. Good time. Yeah. Let's throw it to that and throw it to past us recapping recapping our adventure from the bars beforehand to the epic cup story, the commemorative cup. Stay tuned for that.
Not the loving cup, though.
No, if anyone has one of those commemorative cups and you're listening, if you have an extra, hit me up.
Send it to the show.
All right, we'll do that, and we'll see you guys on the other side. We're here live for the first time in GA history. Post Phish, the morning after. There's got to be a morning after.
What better way to be in person though than after my first Phish show?
We held on through the night. Yeah.
We're recovering in case you can't tell.
What do you mean? I feel like $1 million. I think I got.
Actually, you don't feel that bad, which is I'm very surprised. But
Yeah.
I think that just because the show was that good.
Yeah, just tired.
Yeah, just tired.
Yeah, we slept like 5-6 hours maybe. Got back around 1. Fell asleep by like 1:30.
They played for literally almost 4 hours last night.
Yeah. Even the set break felt quick.
Quicker than usual. Like I feel like when I was waiting around watching the one from home, I feel like that really dragged, but in person it was like a blink.
Yeah. We just sat there like stunned after the first set. Like, holy shit, we get to do this again. And then about halfway through, Brett and Uncle Mike were like, we should probably like get up and go to the bathroom, get drinks and stuff, which was
Get some water.
a challenge. May have had a chocolate bar of sorts of the fungal sorts.
You were
That's a gross way.
You were in the tunnel in Willy Wonka parts of that show.
Yeah. Dude, for real. It's not easy seeing Phish like that. It's peaks and valleys. And they threw us right into the deep end. Like they opened with Fluffhead, which is if you played Fluffhead for someone who didn't know Phish, they would be like, what the fuck is this?
Like what happened on
But it's so good.
On Analyzed Phish. Wasn't Fluffhead one of the songs he showed? Yeah.
Like, Harris, why would you show him?
Who's Fluffhead?
Hold on. I wanna just look up the lyrics to that interlude of Fluffhead. Because it is nonsense lyrics.
The banker part?
They don't even put it in here, actually. I've tried to look at it. No, when they're like boozy, foggy, level-headed pepper sebadoo. It's not even on the lyric sheet.
So they wing it each time.
Even Google was like, nah, man, we're not doing that.
Wait, is Ernest Anastasio is his mom? Where's Trey's real name Ernest?
People do call him Ernie a lot. Oh.
I did not know that his real name was Ernest.
I did not know that either.
Sorry for saying your mom's name was Ernest.
I've seen people refer to him as Ernie all the time, but I just thought it was just being silly or something. Ernest Joseph Trey Anastasia. I still question that. Should probably know. I think it's Ozia. Yeah, so we got in. Well, we went to this like hillbilly bar. It was like a hoedown over there.
It was the Texas flags everywhere. It's like a very Texas barbecue joint.
We walk in and it looked like pretty nice, like city barbecue place. And then I asked the waitress, I'm like, is there like a Phish thing happening? And she's like, yeah, go in the basement. And it's just packed wall to wall. There's like this band playing and they're doing like maybe a Dead song and like Phish and other stuff.
No art though, which we were a little disappointed by. No fan art.
Yeah, we were trying to get, some of the cool like fan made shirts and stuff, but that's happening tonight, 12:30. So
we missed the boat.
Yeah, we entered a raffle. which was like the Water Wheel Foundation was one of like charitable foundations surrounding Phish. Like, oh, donate anything, and you'll enter to win like vinyl and posters and sweatshirts. We didn't win,
No.
but yeah,
And they had 4 Phish vinyl, and one person won all 4,
yeah,
which I still disagree with that, but it's a hell of a haul for whoever won that.
yeah, seriously. I didn't have any of those. That would have been
No.
real nice. Like
I used
just
to have Rift.
jumpstart the collection immediately.
They're all early. They're all early LPs.
Yeah.
That's like right in my listening right now because I don't know the later stuff.
You don't know the new stuff. You know everything's right now.
Now I do. That was a
Yeah.
great song.
Yeah. Everything's right. So just hold tight. So we went from there. We went to this place, Molly V's, which is just one of the random many Irish bars along like 7th or around Penn Station somewhere. And we met up with friends and we met up with other friends. Shout out Pilardi, Jordan and Rich. Yeah, we got a nice little some drinks, some pre-show hype, and then we went in, waited on the line outside, which was also an adventure.
Is that the first time you've done that? I meant to
Uh,
ask you that as we were waiting, but we were
so
too busy making friends.
so there's been some renovations around MSG, like it's closed in further out now, but how it's always been is kind of the center area across from Hotel Pennsylvania is like a huge, just like tunnel, I guess. And then the doors are set in there. And usually there's like a bunch of like Phish art all over the walls and stuff. And that's just like a mass crowd of people. So this actually was a lot smoother and faster, but it was kind of weird, like waiting in line on the street practically.
Yeah,
Seems like not the best way to do it, but
and it was taking a while too. Like there was no really MSG workers directing us where to go till like towards the end,
no.
till like it was almost 8 o'clock.
That one kid online was convinced he was going to find any other
He
way
was
to get
very
in.
determined.
Yeah.
He might be a listener now, so shout out to you.
Shout out dudes on the line. That's Phish song too.
Dude in the line.
Just the line. It's not one of the better ones. It's just like Trey like describing a free throw in basketball for like 10 minutes.
It sounds like a Trey song.
Kind of inspirational, but I'm glad they don't really do that one anymore. Yeah, dudes on the line. That guy, he kept trying and then just kept coming back.
And then we all got in eventually at the same time.
Yeah, we met that dude who told us about the gym he wants to start.
Yes.
The lawyer who wants to start the gym.
The Brazilian barbecue like gym where you have the red light, green light for if you want pointers or tips from a trainer.
He just gave his idea to all 32 of our listeners. So
I don't think we have any gym entrepreneurs that listen. So I think the secret should be shade.
It might change now. That kid's gonna be like, motherfucker.
What? I talked to him on that line.
General admission gym chain. Red light, green light. Oh, that should be the name.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm not gonna say the name he told us. I'll at least keep that to myself.
Yeah, so we get in and we're like a little behind schedule, but still kind of like on track because they usually the first night they started at 8:12, and I think we were getting in like right around 8 probably, going up all the stairs and elevators.
Which took a while.
Escalators.
So like we were really pushing 8:12 once we got up there.
So we get up and luckily like the stairs took us, our seats were like right there. So wait online just to get a beer or a water. And Uncle Mike's like, he's like, dude, they have like Lawson's hops a lot here. It's like Lawson's like great brewery. They do like Sip of Sunshine, and it's a Vermont brewery. That's so good. And I would love to try that hops a lot beer. They do like a Phish thing on the cover, on the can. Cool. But I'm like, the show's gonna start. I don't know where they're serving this extremely specific craft beer. Like, we should just get in. And he's like, no. And he starts like running down the hall.
And the lights drop.
Yeah. The lights drop. So now we're like fuck the drinks, like we got to get in. He's like, no, it's just the crowd cheering early. I'm like, I don't think so, because it's after 8:12 at this point. So we forego drinks, which in I think in hindsight, maybe if it wasn't your first show, I would have rather have just missed the first 30 seconds to a minute just to make sure I had a drink. Because once you're in that seat and you're on the roller coaster, like you really don't want to
You're
leave.
strapped in.
Yeah. So we forego the drinks and we walk up the stairs. We see we're like side stage, kind of behind side stage, and then they just start the opening notes to Fluffhead as we're standing there, and we look at each other like, Fluffhead, it's Fluffhead. Oh shit.
After we predicted that earlier in the day,
Yeah,
saying goodbye to Jasper.
yeah. We were saying bye to my pup. We called him Fluffhead. Nicole's last words, so it's out the door, we're Fluffhead. So she helped summon that too.
Had a couple summonings.
Yeah.
Summons.
Summoningsings.
Summonings.
Yeah, yeah. I had on my possum shirt, which my friend from the gorge made a bunch and he had given me one. It's primarily bamboo and cotton. Very,
Oh.
very comfy shirt. It's a good combo. I want to tie dye it.
I gotta get one of those.
I don't know how to tie dye. I don't think it's that hard, but anyway, was wearing the possum shirt, but then Brett and I decided to go disc golfing for a little bit because I wanted to show Brett my favorite thing in the world next to Phish.
It was a good time. We had a nice, unseasonably warm December day.
Yeah, yeah, it was like felt like it was close to 50, maybe not 50, but flirting with 50. But yeah, so then my possum shirt got kind of sweaty, so it didn't make it to the show, but Possum still made it, which they encored with, which is really cool.
That's show ender, which
Yeah.
was incredible.
Yeah,
We'll get there, but
it's the beginning of Possum where it's just like that kick drum and like some like jangly thing maybe. No, jangly thing, the keyboards.
those jangly things.
Page jangles. It's just like immediately recognizable. And at this point in the show, like this is the encore, the second encore. So they could do anything and we're like exhausted and they do that and we just look at each other and it's, holy shit, like another one.
And the whole crowd
Another,
went nuts.
yeah, like what a gift. Like cherry on top. What else did we summon?
We summoned You Enjoy Myself, the
Oh yeah.
lyrics that end each and every one of our shows.
Yes.
So it was only fitting that made an appearance during the show.
Yeah.
And
it started so like suddenly. Like where's the set list?
There it is.
Um
After Everything's Right.
Yeah, Everything's Right, which is like a newer song. Good lyrics. Just like, well, shout out Fluffhead if you can hear him barking right now. But yeah, You Enjoy Myself just like snuck right in there. And another one. It's just like unbelievable.
Got to see the trampoline jumping in person.
Yeah. I disappeared for a little bit.
You did.
And then the trampolines brought me back. That was when I dropped my phone during Boy
And she was
Man.
like, I
Boy
don't
Man
care.
shit. Brett's like, you dropped your phone, and it's just I kind of like saw it on the ground, but it just felt like it was like miles away. Like I dropped it like in a volcano.
And you're like,
or
leave
something.
it.
I'm just leave it. It's not going anywhere. I could not move, just completely like entranced by the song. Boy Man, God shit.
Push your feet to drive it for it.
And I feel like the episode's over. Oh, unreal. Wait, we got a little note here for You Enjoy Myself. They teased your pet cat from the first set in You Enjoy Myself. We also got this song, Hey Stranger, which is the first time they ever played it. It's a Trey band song, a Tab
Solo
song.
work, right?
Yeah. The Trey Anastasio band, Tab. Yeah, I've never heard that song before. I want to listen back.
I just thought it was still part of Bathtub Gin.
Yeah. Yeah, there were moments like when they went into Your Pet Cat. It's like you could feel that the song changed, but like neither of us knew that song.
There was some noise like just going
Oh
around the
yeah,
arena,
it
and we
was
thought it was that Martian song.
it was a cat, and it
That
was
was a
like,
cat. Yeah.
and the meowing, like Brett said, like, so if you're not watching, he kind of did a circle with his hand, and it the the way it played felt like it traveled around
The
us.
entire arena.
It was like panning, but without headphones on. And speaking of around the arena, we have to talk about the sweet lights.
The the lights at the end of the aisles
Yeah,
that are new
yeah.
to MSG. Although I'm not sure if that's an MSG thing or a Phish brought those.
I don't know, but it was rad. They along all like the sweet boxes, there were huge columns of light, and Chris Carota, CK5, like guy, fifth member, he had control of them. So they would pop up and go away and come back and do rings and
Change colors
yeah,
frequently, and
yeah, they were super cool. Never seen that before.
no, and they were matching everything going on with the main lights too.
Yeah,
So it just kind of served as like an exclamation point
yeah. And
onto the lighting.
where we were, like, we didn't have the best view for the light show because we were side stage, so like the light show's coming off the stage forward, but those surrounding lights were able to give us some light fun, keep everyone involved. Like no matter where you were sitting, you were going to see those. Even if you were sitting on top of one, you'd still see like the rest along the circle. Just always new tricks. These new tricks.
That's it. So they don't do that for every show.
No, that's new.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't do it for outdoor
Well, I mean, they can
shows,
do for outdoor
obviously.
shows, but
But yeah, just like whoever's mind is like, we should,
to put lights like
yeah,
on the exit
just
lanes.
always thinking. There's no time for like boredom. Like there's always something going on. If the music loses you, then the lights catch you. The people dancing, like,
But you're immersed the entire time.
yeah, yeah, for like close to 4 hours. Hold your attention that long, like wasn't checking like texts or any. It was just like it's one of the purest like in the moment things I think like I do in life. Like music is definitely that, and the Fish like definitely brings it to an
Yeah.
even more level.
It's like, to quote Turnstile, it's like you got to see it live to get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Which you still have to see them, but
yeah,
it definitely applies to Phish.
yeah. Because it just there's a lot more it brings live, but and then you when you listen back, it kind of transports you back to that moment of how you felt at that show. And yeah, it's nice.
I still can't believe how great this set was for like my first show. I got basically almost everything I was looking for. We
Yeah,
didn't get Tweezer, but I'm sure like that'll come
yeah. And
for people going tonight or tomorrow,
you didn't get Mike's
or Mike's
song.
Groove either.
Yeah,
But I was happy enough with You Enjoy Myself
yeah,
and Possum.
yeah. Like it is way more common to like see like Mike's song or even Tweezer than like You Enjoy Myself. So to catch that first show,
Pretty awesome.
right in the second set, uh,
Character Zero was great too.
yeah,
Coyote. Your
yeah.
uncle said Coyote doesn't come out that much either.
No, I
He's
don't
like, I can't
know
believe
if
you're getting this for your first show.
The Awful Pig. Yeah, that was another one where like immediately they start that song, and I feel like it's like almost I felt like I was watching like a horror movie, like music wise. Like it I don't know how they
Like that
managed to
middle
like
part.
I felt like scared by the music. Like not scared of like my surroundings or like unsafe in the garden, anything like that, but just like strictly listening to this song. Like it's so like I guess like in a minor key maybe, and just like it just gives me that eerie feeling. and then eventually like the song peaks and the lights go up
and
and
comes
you
back.
feel like you made it out of, like you said, like the Willy Wonka tunnel.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're in that Willy Wonka tunnel.
And the guitar is just like yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like the part in Wizard of Oz where like the tornado comes through, or the twister, excuse me.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that, and then like you come out and it's everything's in color and it's okay,
yeah,
but
it's very chaotic. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. So that was the first encore, and then they went to Possum, and I'm glad they gave us Possum, because if I had to like head home with like Gaiuti just lingering, that
the pig just sitting in the background.
and it was no easy task to get home, but we were like if there was an Olympics for navigating from Penn Station back to the New Jersey suburbs, like
We'd be on the medal stand, I think.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we'd
definitely.
be gold, but we'd definitely be on
We
the top 3.
we caught everything like the first one. Like we booked, we didn't even book it out of the show. Like we kind of lingered for like a couple minutes just to like, you got to get your
Soak it
thoughts
all
in
in.
order.
Yeah.
Like, try and process. And then it's just like, all right, now it's like game time. Oh, and I almost ate shit
Yeah, you
leaving.
did.
Speaking of game time,
And you didn't bring home the collector's cup either.
no, they gave out collector's cups and I forgot mine in the cup holder. And well, just remember the collector's cup for this next part of the story.
Because the fall kind of precipitates. No, is that's not the right word.
No,
Pre no,
prefaces.
prefaces. Yeah, we'll just go
Maybe.
with that. It's the morning after our Phish show. Cut us some slack.
Yeah, you know, we got the pre part right. So the same steps we walked up to in awe 4 hours earlier, we are now walking down as a sweaty, well, personally, a sweaty, gross mess trying to process the adventure that just happened.
And everything was wet. Like, did you?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Everything by our feet was just wet. I'm not sure when that happened, but it was every aisle and like just everything was wet. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like,
No.
were that many people spilling beers?
I
Everything
guess
was
so.
wet.
It didn't make any sense at all. But
And I take my first step down these stairs, maybe like 10 steps or so, and my foot goes out from under me, and I ass 2 slides, and then transfer my weight back up onto my foot as if
did like a running back stiff arm to like stop your fall.
it was boop boop stand, one smooth fluid motion, and I let out a loud got it. This way, because you know, you see someone like almost eat shit after a show, you're like, man, this guy's wasted, like what an idiot. And it's like, no, I slipped.
I'm so good.
I got it. Let's get out of here. Everything's okay. But that got the adrenaline pumping for the
descent down.
And we took the escalators down.
But they turn them off after shows,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we're like walking down the escalators.
Yeah, I remember wanting to say something like the stairs are broken, but then I decided to just shut up because I can barely walk downstairs. So no one wants to hear my overused bad jokes about an escalator. So I'm just concentrating, looking around. Everyone's just like grinning like an idiot from the show. While also you could tell like people are in game mode. Like,
yeah, it's time to go home. Because like it's crazy the show ended. Like here we have the end time right here, 11:54, and they came on at 8:12. So that's nearly 4 hours of music. Which we didn't, I think the first night they ended at like 11:25 or something like that. So we got like an extra half hour out of them tonight because they were in a jammy mood.
Yeah. I read that I don't think there's a curfew. Like city never sleeps.
That makes sense, especially with the New Year's show where they
like,
play till another set after midnight. Right?
What if they just didn't stop? What if we were still there?
He's on like his 80th fake goodbye.
Oh, the goodbyes. Oh no. Should we talk about the goodbyes now or continue our exit story?
Go with the exit and jump back into
okay.
the set of it.
So we're going down those stairs, blah blah blah, and next thing we know, we're outside, and the fresh air was like a breath of fresh air, quite literally. It felt so good, but we didn't really have to go outside because we were leaving through leaving through Penn Station.
I spill on myself.
Is in. And
I'm not sure why we did that.
yeah, Brett and Mike are like, why are we outside? I'm like, because it was hot. We need to be outside. And then
We just smelled like smoke.
yeah, and like stale beer. And there was a theme of the night was us navigating the city and second guessing every like turn and street.
We didn't miss
And
though.
no,
at least
we
we
didn't
second
miss.
guessed, but we didn't
Yeah.
miss.
So we were trying to get back to the NJ Transit corner, which is from where we went in. It would be like down that street and then the next
It's like
corner.
diagonal, right?
But because of all this renovations at MSG, this place, this home for so long now looks completely different. And I'm realizing that I'm not as sure as I usually am because the surroundings are totally different. But we made it in. I don't know if we made it in the entrance I thought we were going in. And then all the screens inside MSG are new. So like it's a different font and color scheme and layout. Because usually you wait when you park at Secaucus like we do, every single train out of Penn Station, no matter where it's going on NJ Transit, is going to stop at Secaucus first, which is why if you can swing the drive, I did not drive, by the way. But if you can swing the drive, it's worth that because then you don't have to bank on like catching a train.
A specific train.
Like there are people who miss the encore because they're like, my train leaves, like I have to go. And we would have had to do that, or you just wind up
taking the last 1 a.m. train home.
Yeah, you suffer an hour because you didn't want to miss 5 minutes of the show, which seems really logical when you're at the show. And then when you're sitting in a train station exhausted, you want to like jump in front of one because it's that horrible.
It's not a fun experience being stuck.
But we're watching the board and then we ran into friends. Shout out Pilardi again. And just hear Nick, Brett. We're like, whoa. Like so exciting to bump into someone, even though like it's not really that crazy. We saw each other early. We were all going the same place, but well, they had to go back to Philly, which sucks.
Had to be a long train ride.
Then the 3 pops up on the screen and you're like racehorses in a gate and you just book it to 3. But because of this goddamn new layout, I didn't know what direction 3 was. So that was when Uncle Mike stepped up. We followed him. And there were so many times along this journey where I would be like 50-50 if we were going in the right direction. And then I would just see a sign that said
tracks 1 through 4.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God,
we're heading the right way.
We're doing it. It's happening. 1 through 4, we get through that door and then we're booking it. And then we end up at a dead end and it's tracks 1 and 2. And we're like, what the fuck? And Mike's like, here, 3. We spin around and we like basically run down the stairs. I'm being very cautious on stairs at this point, not messing with stairs anymore. And literally run down the stairs and it's like, hold that door practically. And the lady said something along the lines of like, squeeze them in like last ones. Or
we were literally the last ones on the train.
Yeah.
They're just about to shut the doors and we just squeezed in there. So
and then
everything was coming up right that day for us.
And then along this whole journey, anytime we saw anyone with these plastic cups, we would ask them for one because people leave them behind like crazy, yours and me included. So you see people walking around with like stacks of 10 and no one's giving us one. And Uncle Mike winds up buying one off a dude
for $10
for $10 on the train, which good for that guy. What a hustle. So now he's like all psyched. He has this cup and giving me a hard time for forgetting the cup because I moved his cup in a cup holder, which
and then forgot it.
Hand up. That all happened. But I picked my phone up off the ground.
He did. It's not still
Yeah.
sitting there.
And in my defense, the cup had old stale beer in it that I wasn't even sure was mine because I took someone else's cup apparently. So I wasn't drinking it. And I was holding my Aquafina water bottle as the precious substance that it is. So I left with the better liquid, but the worst container.
Yes.
Yeah. So self-care. We make it to Sea Caucus, and now like we're on our own time.
Cup in tow.
Yeah, cup in tow. And we're walking out, and my ticket wouldn't activate, and I know I look like a sweaty, dirty hippie, and I have to like ask the guy who's working at like midnight among all these dirty, sweaty hippies and be like, my ticket's not working. And he blamed the Wi-Fi, but like I wasn't on the Wi-Fi. It was because my phone,
Your phone was being sketchy.
Yeah, my phone couldn't like pick up service after the show, but whatever. So he scanned me through. Very nice of him. Now I have an extra ticket, so that's kind of nice.
There you go.
Yeah. So we're walking down the stairs, the final escalator, and Uncle Mike's still just like bragging about his cup and like how he has a cup and I forgot my cup and this and that. And we get to the bottom, and like this is why we're all children, because this is something boys do from the age of probably like 8 to still. If you are holding something and you walk under something hanging with a gap above it, you pretty much have to throw the item up and over and then catch it. You have to.
Like it's a basketball.
It's just this compulsion. So he tosses his cup up, a nice little hook shot, goes up over the side, through the side,
clears it, but
doesn't catch it, and it cracks in half.
It just smacks the metal part at the end of the escalator, which is like,
yeah.
Obviously you have the stairs meeting the platform, so it's very rugged there, and he hit it right on the dot, and just shattered it.
You heard it. And I don't even know. I could still use it as a change cup. Maybe throw some pens in there.
He didn't throw it out. He still kept it.
No, not drinking out of it. And I tried to console him by saying, no one else has a crack cup, so like you kind of got something special. But
everyone else got loving cups.
Yeah, and he got a Gaiuti cup. Came in, the evil pig came and destroyed his cup.
Met the same fate as the possum.
Yeah. Which, all right, there we brought it back.
We nailed it.
Much like Trey at the end of Possum. Trey, wait. So hold on. I want to bring this around real quick. When I was, because this connects, I promise. When I was a small young child, my grandpa would be driving us back from wherever to his house. And there were a few times where we'd get close to his house and he'd be like, we're almost home. It's just around the corner. And then he would just drive around the whole block. And we'd pull back up to his house and he'd say, just around the corner. And I would laugh my ass off. And he would just drive around the block for like 10 times just because I was laughing, and it was funny. So with that in mind, Trey gets to the end of Possum and he says he's like, thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. And then they end the song. Crowd goes wild.
And they restart it.
Then they just restart the song. And they come to a close. And Trey says, thank you, everybody. Be safe. Have a good night. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. And I'm still like, lingering effects of the chocolate bar. And I'm kind of looking around like, is
this actually happening?
Did that just happen twice, or am I tripping? Like, what's going on here? Then they do it again. Now I realize that I'm not imagining this. And I look over at Brett and we just start cracking up. And I think they did it.
They did it 5 times. I was counting. I mean, I'll have to confirm when we're able to redeem our ticket and get the live show, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 times.
There were probably people there who missed their train because Trey wanted to say,
They're like, oh, they're gonna play another song.
"Good day, everybody. Be safe. Don't do anything we wouldn't do."
And they rub it back up. I'm
Silly,
very excited to listen back to
silly,
that one.
silly boys. I can't believe they're gonna do it again tonight.
2 more nights, and they have 3 sets tomorrow night for New
Oh
Year's.
my god. They must be
I
like,
got that's that's next on the list. Well, no, next on the list is AC,
yeah, you gotta do a
and
summer
then
show.
maybe next year New Year's, if Sandra doesn't yell at me.
If we can like score good seats, the girls would have a great time.
On New Year's,
Yeah.
those are like impossible to find now, right? If we don't get the lottery,
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see.
we'll do a live check-in
Live
at
check
Second
in to
Market.
see if we wanted to go to New Year's Eve, 2 days, Madison Square Garden to see the Phish from Vermont. Let's say, well, we'll do 4 tickets. We'll pretend we're all going. All right. So we'd want to sit in any of these.
That's not. Oh wait,
Section
before
103, 348.
Hmm.
That's high,
Yeah.
but is it like 320, 4 seats?
That's not bad.
It's New Year's Eve.
Man.
You're getting 3 sets. You're also getting a show. They're gonna do something silly, or like for the fake New Year's
Like
Eve.
the aquarium.
Yeah, they turned the whole place. It was blue lights everywhere with like green swirls, like you're in the ocean. And they had these blow up whales that are bigger than like my garage, just like drifting around.
They
Like,
had to play bathtub gym that night, right? For the
I hope
humpback
so.
whale.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, I like 320 a ticket for New Year's Eve at the Garden to see like your favorite band. To me, that doesn't really seem that crazy. 107? Huh. Huh. No, I'm gonna couch tour New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
We're hosting friends at our house, and I'm gonna just buy the show and put it on the TV, and everyone can enjoy.
Maybe
And
they'll get Tweezer that night,
yeah,
or it'll come out tonight probably.
I feel like I feel like it's coming tonight, but I don't know. We say a lot of things that aren't ever the case. But yeah, what an adventure.
Unbelievable first show.
Yeah.
I feel like that's set a very high bar, which I don't know.
It's a very high bar, but that was like in my 20s for a show, and I'm there like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen them do. Like,
So it's not just like
no,
being like, you don't say that like every time you're at a show. Like you don't walk away and be like, oh my god, that was the greatest show I've ever seen. Or it's like there's ones that stand out more than the others.
There's moments in shows that feel like the greatest thing you're ever seeing, and this show felt like one big moment of that.
Yeah,
which is what made it such a good show. Like, there's nothing on here that I wouldn't want to listen to, because they do have some songs where it's like, all right, I like this one, it's fine, but like I kind of take it or leave it, like a bathroom song, and like there were no bathroom songs.
No,
like Bouncing Around the Room or something. Like I might.
That is a bathroom song. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really good set. My mom used to make fun of me like my whole life, because anytime I'll go to a concert, like get back late, wake up the next morning, stumble into the kitchen, she's like, "How was the show?" Like, not even just Phish. How was the show? I'd be like,
Good.
so good, amazing. Like, I can't even believe that they can do that. And she's like, "You say this about every show." Yeah, pretty much. That's why I keep going.
But this one is more true to that point.
This is why I always say that, to me, Phish is bigger than just a band, because like
you saw that from just even the line to get in. Like, I don't remember ever being online for a concert and feeling like I was in that welcoming of an environment, like where you can talk to anyone and everyone's so happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
And you're not bothering anyone. And like you mentioned, it was my first show, and like heads whipped around and like look at me with like big smiles on their faces.
Join the cult. One of us.
We got a new one.
It is true though. Like, and I try to bring that to other shows. Like, I was just like, you talk about the band, like you're there to see the same band, so in theory, should be easy to like chat with
But
most
it's
people.
not the
It
case with
doesn't
every
always
band.
work that way. Like, I'm looking at a Rise Against poster right now, and they're a band I see pretty much every summer, and I love them. As far as like bands go, they're at the top of my list. But like, I get warm and fuzzies from them, and like it's always like a beautiful night, but it's not the same. There's just something else with Phish that just feels like bigger. I
And
don't
also
know.
I feel like there's more predictability with Rise Against compared to
Yeah,
Fish,
definitely
because
that.
you literally never know what you're gonna get. You know
Yeah,
you won't get based on what they played the night before. But
yeah, that's about as much as you can do, which is real fun. Like when you're following Summer Tour, you try and like make predictions because now you have like stats. Because you could be like, well, they haven't played Tweezer in like
a couple
the past
weeks.
two cities, so like there's a good chance we get Tweezer night, and everyone just kind of like says their predictions and like theory crafts, and it it's just that whole like extra level to it. It's so fun. I can't wait to see what they do tonight,
Yeah.
and I'm not even going.
I'll be monitoring that set list tonight
Yeah,
and tomorrow night.
I'll be out to dinner with Nicole and her mom. I'm gonna be refreshing the set list thread on Reddit because I'm gonna want to see what's going on.
Yeah, I am too.
And when I see songs I love, I'm just gonna like grin like an idiot, knowing that like so many people are there, like having a great time. And
Like we were.
yeah, I'm,
I can't wait to get the audio of this though.
yeah,
I'm gonna listen to this like so much the next month or so probably.
I might have to like re-up my live Fish subscription just so I can listen to the whole run. It's only
That's not a bad
it's
idea.
only like $8 a month, which I like to just do it for Summer Tour usually, because you look at it as like $30 basically. You can listen to every show.
Yeah. Because even like last night's set, or not last night, the first night set was really good too. I mean, there's songs I
Yeah,
wasn't like upset we missed, but like they had like Free and Harry Hood,
yeah, yeah. The
Wolfman's Brother.
first night set feels like a blur.
Yeah, like YouTube, as you said, ate last night with the
Yeah,
22-minute opener compared to the
yeah,
when we went on there Wednesday night and we got 3 minutes before
yeah,
it got shut off on us. But
yeah. Fish live streams the first song of the set on YouTube, and then like I think it's supposed to try and draw people in to go like buy the live stream, but the first song's always free. Then the first night they did like a 2 minute song that felt more like a sound check than like a jam. But last night they YouTube got a 22-minute like rare song. So yeah, YouTube was eating. uh Awesome night.
and I think I like them even more after seeing them live, and I didn't think that was possible from like how much I've been listening to them this year. But yeah, if you're even like remotely interested in them, you have to see them in person because it's
Yeah.
truly unlike anything I've ever experienced at a live show.
Yeah. Especially if you're listening to us, chances are you're on the East Coast, better yet, like tri-state area. So it's easy. Like there was someone I saw on the Reddit page who flew from Switzerland to see them
Wow.
in New York City. Like that's like a lifetime epic trip for that person. And we're just like, all right, let's get on this dirty train
Yeah,
and go for 20 minutes. Like we have that on our back step, and
which is
that's like,
nice. But then, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I kind of want to see a Gorge show like you did. I want to see a Hollywood Bowl show.
yeah, it's
Wouldn't
an
mind seeing them
excuse
in Denver either.
to like go see these cool venues. And they do like in like maybe February or March, most years, they do a Mexico show, and
Oh,
it's a all-inclusive package to a hotel, and they play on the beach. They do a daytime set too. And um last year
is
Dave
it called?
Matthews came out with them.
Oh, wow.
And it's like
Crossing fan bases there.
if you're like a Fish family, like if you and like say your spouse like both love the band, like it's like a no-brainer. Like we want to do a vacation, why wouldn't we do that when our favorite band is playing?
Yeah.
Which like I don't really see those Mexico shows in my personal future.
I don't either.
But like,
I could see Hollywood Bowl or Gorge,
Yeah.
but
yeah, like me and Nicole have traveled for bands before and like make a vacation out of it, and like it's just a great excuse to do that and like see different places. But yeah, the camping stuff is
that I've never done before, so that
that
would be a
like
whole new experience for me.
think of the line and like the family aspect, and you just live that. Like we go back last night, instead of traveling NJ Transit, we walk for 5 minutes. We get some like chicken and rice at a food truck they have all these different food places on site. You go back to your tent, you get out a bunch of guitars and like joints and chill. Everyone's doing their thing. And like we were playing songs, singing. Like we started playing a Fleetwood Mac song, and this girl walked by and she's like, "Oh, I gotta sing this," and she just like hopped in and like
Oh, that's
sang,
so
and she had a
cool.
killer voice. And like then like everyone kind of tapers off and goes to bed, and like the sun rises on the mountain with you. You stumble your way to coffee with like whoever's camping nearby, and you
The
have this
band.
conversation
Yeah.
about the set last night. And then you just like the day comes and they're going to do an afternoon set and then a night set, and you just live in it for a few days, and it's
Yeah,
like
that's got to be on my bucket list now.
like
Doing something
real
like that.
freedom. It's really cool. But camping can be hard, but if you plan right, it's not so bad. But like Hollywood Bowl, like just got a sweet hotel in like around
Yeah,
where is Hollywood Bowl? Is it Los Angeles?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that
I'm
would
not
be
sure
like
what part, but
remove the camping aspect and like spend a weekend in California and like explore and see Phish. Like I think that would be
yeah,
that seems like one of the more realistic next
or
like
Saratoga Springs
yeah,
if it's not 4th of July.
yeah, it's always 4th of July. I think they do Fenway. I don't know if they do Fenway, if I'm making that up, but that would be cool too. Boston trip. I don't know if they
New
do.
Hampshire they played.
Yeah.
I'm just recalling all my the live shows from the Phish station.
Yeah.
On Sirius.
There's a couple Canada stops that they'll like dip into.
Like
once or
Toronto.
twice, yeah. But yeah, just an awesome show, and so much hype from the podcast of like this show. Like the whole journey is documented of me rambling about Phish, then you kind of being like, so what's this? What's that? Then when we had on Playlist Wars, I'm forgetting his name. Brian. Yeah, Brian Colburn. Um he got you in the farmhouse, and
he gave me the map. He's like farmhouse and then a picture of Nectar.
Yeah.
And that was all she wrote.
Yeah.
I was hooked from then.
Countless texts later of just like, this song is awesome. This song is awesome. Whoa. So what's this? What's this? And like all the history, and like it's just I don't know. It's just a great thing. I'm glad we get to be here the same time as they're here.
Yeah. Thinking the same thing. Then I was telling your uncle last night, and I was like, I had a high bar set for this show, and they somehow like blew past it.
You made it your show of the year before
we even saw
it. And it's still
I still feel like that's underselling it.
That's
compared to the set list we got to see and the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like it was
like the
double everything I could have asked for.
The surrounding experience of like the show is always like one of my favorite things, where like you're just like, we wander to some random like barbecue bar that we saw online, and it just happened to be like a pretty cool party for a little
Which
bit.
is cool.
Like, just all these like random things going on. Like it feels like Phish just takes over the city. For, like,
they really
4
do.
days.
But even like in the show itself, like when you're listening to these jams and like you're not seeing it in person, like you might not be as tuned in, but like when you're in person, you're in it. You're looking at everything going on around you, people dancing, the lights, and it almost feels like the audio doesn't do it justice at times. Unless of course you were at that show and you listen back, and then you can kind of see everything playing back out. But if you've never been to that show, it might not hit the same way, but it's still good. But like obviously I've been hooked on them for most of this year and haven't been bothered by the long jams. So
they don't people like my friends like will joke who don't like know Phish, like, oh, you're just gonna listen to like a 40-minute song, but like it's not really like that. Like the
We
longest
got
on
22 minutes
this
last night.
was 22 minutes. But think about it. If a normal song, we'll say a normal song is 5 minutes, just for like sake of arguments, probably like the music we listen to is more probably in the 3 to 4 range. But like there's plenty of songs that are 5 to 6 minutes that people like.
Or Tool, like when
So
they
yeah,
like in Fear Inoculum, like all those songs were like
I was thinking about Tool
16
like
minutes.
kind of a lot last night because both bands just do really weird timing stuff, like with the drums. Like Fishman and John Carey are like just incredible drummers. Fishman is like unreal. Like he doesn't even break a sweat back there, and
No.
like he just holds it down the whole time. Like I'm, I get exhausted just watching them, and they're like doing it.
And they look so relaxed
Yeah.
at the same
I
time.
want to know like what their like self-care like regimen is, because
Like, what do you do between sets?
yeah, what do you do between sets? Like they're probably getting enough sleep, I would hope. Like you can't do that if you're not.
No.
Like I don't get enough sleep.
Or they drink like an entire pot of coffee each.
Yeah. Fresh cups. Fresh pots. Fresh pots. But yeah, great show.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what they do the rest of this weekend. This is our first episode back for the new year.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're talking about outside of this, but hopefully it's
yeah,
you're enjoying the episode.
Yeah. You enjoy my episode.
That should be the name of it.
Definitely the name of it.
There we go.
But yeah,
but now we're gonna have to listen to this Weezer EP, and it's gonna ruin all this great emotion I have right now. But we'll Park go on, so then that'll boost the mood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that'll be this week or next week, but you'll know if you're listening to this. But
yeah, it might be. I don't know. We'll talk off the air.
Yeah,
yeah.
It'll probably be next week. So I'm gonna bask in this a little more. We're gonna bask in this a little more, I should say.
I think I'm gonna make another loving cup of coffee,
and I'm gonna hit the road probably.
Yeah, watch out for the possums. All right. We're gonna either throw it back or that's our episode. I really don't know. I don't care because that was an awesome show, awesome night. Thanks for being here with us for the recap. To all our friends who we saw there, if you're listening, thanks for making it special. We love you.
What's your feet that driving differential? Wow.
We are back. Hello.
We enjoyed ourselves.
We did enjoy ourselves very much. We enjoyed our podcast. I don't remember what we talked about in that.
No. We might have talked about some of what we talked about leading into what we talked about.
True professionals.
But it's okay.
True professionals. So Brett, you were saying you had some follow-up questions
I
to the
did.
Phish?
So we kind of talked about this like at the bar before the show, but like how like my Phish knowledge like stops like right around the breakup. So like I know a lot of the music from like pre-2004, but not so much post reunion.
So there's like Big Boat and others.
Yeah. Which leads to my question. So it seems like they like to play a lot of off Sigma. And I don't think I've heard a song off that I haven't liked yet. So I'm thinking as I explore newer or 2.0 Phish, I start there. Or is that like starting at the top and then everything after that is not as good?
No, that's a good idea. I never knew Steam was off Sigma Oasis.
I didn't either. I got really excited when I saw that.
I thought that was a Ghost song because it's like funky. It's good. It's funky. Yeah, that's a good idea. Sigma Oasis was good.
I think I'm gonna save that that'll be like my first album in the February challenge I do.
Yeah, there's that and Big Boat, but Big Boat has more misses, I think.
That's what it sounded like the fans thought too.
Yeah.
And there's some it seemed like they like Joy a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's 2009. Huh.
That's their first one back.
Yeah, because I didn't start till 2013. So to me, they're all just like the old albums. But yeah, Joy is, I guess, newer. That has Stealing Time from the Faulty Plan, which is a great one. Ocelot, Kill Devil Falls,
Kettle Falls, I liked.
and
They played that on New Year's Eve.
yeah. Did you hear Backwards Down the Number Line?
I like that one too. That's on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. That's one that I think I've heard that song more than any other. So there's been a bunch of times where they've encored with it, and me and Goldie just bounced to beat the traffic. So like, we don't have to hear this one again. But it's a very like, it's a nice song.
But not for every single show you're at.
Yeah, Paige has like great harmonies in that song.
What about Fuego?
Oh yeah, yeah. Fuego's got good ones too.
So there
Fuego
are good
itself is a
ones
great
on.
song. Yeah, yeah. None of
It's
them
just
are.
not like the old stuff.
Yeah, none of them are like all bad. It's just that some have more like duds than others that you don't even really. They don't even really make it to the shows, which is fine.
Play more Sci-Fi Soldier.
Yeah, and Casbah Vox.
What's the song off that that's was really good on the New Year's show I was listening to?
Uh,
I'm
I
blanking
know
right now.
they do Turtle in the Clouds off that, which is a pretty good one. It's like
It wasn't that one, but it was a really good song. Maybe I should look up the set list.
um let's see. Say It to Me Santos.
Yes, there it is.
Hi ho, hi
That's
ho,
off
hi
that.
ho.
Yeah.
This is what space smells like. I didn't realize that was off that album, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, that was when they pretended to be a like Norwegian band.
Is that on Spotify, the album?
Yeah, it's under Phish though. It's not like a secret one,
Okay.
like Sci-Fi Soldier.
Yeah, I had to dig for that one.
We want to talk about that Fireworks album.
That was my bad before. 'Cause I didn't realize that was the album. Like I saw the name, I was like, "Oh, there's cool. There's a second album that dropped on New Year's Day." I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
Fireworks.
but I did listen to a couple songs and I have some early thoughts.
All I remember from them is Arrows.
Yeah,
You
I
remember
don't.
that song?
Uh,
That was like their big hit.
wow, that's a really big hit compared to all their other songs.
Do you remember that one?
I'm listening.
As you listen,
I don't think I know this.
people like worship them though. Like they were on like Wonder Years level with some people.
I feel like they're having an identity crisis based off this song and the first song on their new album, and then the other songs on their album.
Is
Or
it
maybe
heavy?
it's crazy heavy. It's so good. It reminds me of like Old Senses Fail.
Oh wow. Okay,
And then the
I'm
rest of
excited now.
but then the rest of the album sounds like radio indie type music. There's like not another scream, at least in like the first 7 tracks.
Well,
So
that's a tease.
I don't really get it. But that first song is killer. I just don't like I listened to it and I was like, fuck yeah, like this is gonna rip. I'm excited for this. And then
It just dies.
yeah, but I only made it like maybe halfway, not even. So I don't know if it comes back or not. It was just very like it was very strange. But yeah, I don't really know anything about these guys.
Remember, I couldn't really get into like I liked Arrows, but like I couldn't really get into their other stuff.
Yeah,
I can try
maybe
again in prep
for
for this
next week.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we can listen to like we could go back and listen to a little bit more. Their bio on Spotify just says a very famous band. So that doesn't really help. And it looks like they're definitely like successful. I'm not trying to knock them, but just going off like the numbers, like they have that song Arrows you mentioned, which is 2,300,000. Then this other one, Run Brother Run, which is almost 2 million. And then the rest of their songs are just in like the 8 to 10,000 range for the most part. There's one at 700. Oh, no. I take all that back. Spotify's just being weird with how it lists the top tracks. But it doesn't look like they have any other songs over 1 million than these two. And their monthly listeners are at like 27,000, which is
very low.
Yeah, just like comparatively.
Yeah.
Like it's like I would be psyched for that many listeners. Don't get me wrong. But just like compared to like their song count. So I don't know. It seems like they're in a spot right now where they could like blow up or just live as like
that a pun intended?
Successful band. It was not intended, but I wish I could say it was. Yeah, they're either gonna live to their name or just gonna be like a little sparkler. We'll
burn out or
find
fade
out.
away
Like a Roman candle. We don't know. All right, so what else we got for next week? We're gonna listen to more fireworks. We have a Parco episode.
We finally have to listen to Winter Seasons.
Weezer Seasons. Yeah, I've only listened to The Stray Dog so far.
The more I hear it, the more I don't hate it.
I don't know why I called it The Stray Dog. It's not the name.
Wild packs of angry dogs keep up with Modest Mouse. Or is it Wild Packs of Hungry Dogs?
I don't know.
Now I gotta look.
Yeah, so we'll do the final Weezer season. Fireworks.
Family Dogs. Okay. Way off.
We'll do book club next week.
Yes. Only part 2 though. I don't think I can do part 3.
That's fine. That's fine. Part 2 of the book club.
Sorry, I'm a slow reader, everyone.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll find some other stuff. Nothing's like really been coming out yet.
We can do new Anti-Flag if you want. I've never really dived into them too much, but I did really like their last album, and this new one is supposed to be like in the mirror of that.
All right,
and they're dropping it on January 6th on purpose. So
let's do that. And oh, that's badass. And whatever their most popular album is from back in the day, just for comparative sake. That didn't make sense.
I enjoy them. I feel like they're very much like Rise Against the, only a little more angrier and political.
Did they have a song, The Separation of Church and Skate? Separation.
That was NoFX, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, that's NoFX.
Was it the Press Corps?
Broken Bones, This Is the End. The Press Corps is one.
This Is the End was on Madden, if you remember.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll dive into them a little.
Yeah, Press Corps is a big one.
Oh, also, I just want to shout out Bad Omens, who I think they opened on the A Day to Remember tour that
I missed.
That you missed. But the song Just Pretend, so good. I don't know anything else by them, but it's on the radio a lot. And
I listen to them.
Like, I can wait for you at the bottom. And he's got like this really nice like falsetto. It's like, I don't know. Just really like that song.
Just Pretend.
Yeah.
It leads the way on their most listened to track.
Yeah. It's like they play it all the time on Octane.
Did we miss this? Oh no, this is before we were a podcast. Okay. February 25th, 2002.
This is
2022.
BGA.
AGA. BGA.
It's good to be back. It was a nice little break. We got a nice show in the middle. And we get to go back to Parco next week. So get ready for that. Weezer, baby. Weezer never sleeps.
But maybe they will in 23.
Oh, they're gonna run it back.
Six albums the last 2 years. So
busy Rivers. All right.
One last question before we go, though.
That won't do it.
I figured since it's our first episode of the new year, is there a bucket list band we're looking to tackle in the new year?
Like to get
if
on the
they
show
tour,
or to go see?
or to go see?
Yeah, yeah, because there's a gazillion bands we want
There's
to
a
get on the
gazillion bands on our list right now.
show.
For interviews, at least.
Bucket list band. This is tough because if we say they're a bucket list band, then like we have to go.
We have to go.
Because we mentioned Pearl Jam before. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know that I have to see them. I want to. Have to see. I'm gonna sit on this one and
Okay.
I'm gonna
Let's do for next week.
come back with an answer for beginning of next week. We gotta
Your uncle threw one out that kind of raised my interest a little bit, but I'm not sure if they actually tour.
Who's that?
The D.
Oh yeah.
Tenacious
oh yeah.
D.
That would be. Yeah. All right. Well,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's I can subscribe to that. If the detours, we're going. I'll try and think of some others, but that would be
like
epic.
we said, we wanted to tackle some bands you've never seen before.
Yeah. I don't think I could tackle Jack Black.
No, I think he'd tackle both of us. With Beelzebub.
I am complete. All right, before we sing that whole song, thanks for listening, everyone. Happy New Year. Talk to you soon.
Hey, bye.